Hello children. First of all, I will start with the syllabus of physics. You can divide physics into two parts, classical physics and modern physics. Now classical physics have different branches, but the main important branches that are included in our syllabus are mechanics related to motion, then thermodynamics related to heat and electromagnetism related to electricity. Modern physics is related to the study of atomic and it is actually the quantum physics, atomic and subatomic particles. But in modern physics we have study of atomic, subatomic particles. You have atoms, about the atoms, nuclei. You have about semiconductors. So it is like this. Now this modern physics is your class 12 second part in your syllabus, and this classical physics is your class 11 both parts and class 12 first part. This classical physics, one of the renowned name which is associated with classical physics is Newton, and the renowned name which is associated with modern physics, with the study of modern physics, is Einstein. So classical physics is also called as the physics of Newton and modern physics as the physics of Einstein. Now I will discuss with you the syllabus of class 11 and the blueprint. Your chapter number 1 is what is physics. Now here I want to just remind you that your class 11 syllabus, the first part is mechanics, the second part is most major part of the second book is associated with the thermodynamics part. So in your first part is we will discuss about that what is physics, then your units and measurement. Then your third chapter is motion in straight line. Fourth chapter is motion in plane. All these four chapters, they are together of 23 marks. Then your fifth chapter is laws of motion. Sixth is work, energy and power. Seventh is rotational mechanics. Eighth is gravitation. Eighth chapter is gravitation, and these are together of 17 marks. They are of 17 marks. Now ninth chapter is your mechanical properties of solids. Mechanical from here, this up to 8th chapter, this is your first part. Now from 9th chapter your second part will start, second book will start, and the chapters are mechanical properties of solids, then mechanical properties of fluids, and 11th chapter is thermal properties of metal. Thermal properties of matter, and they are yes, 12th chapter is thermodynamics, and 13th chapter is kinetic theory of gases, and they are together of 20 marks. Then your 14th chapter is oscillations, and 15th chapter is waves, and they together are of your remaining marks, that is 10, and this way it will be of 70 marks. Okay. In first chapter we will discuss about that what is physics, what is the role of physics in different areas like in medical physics or in engineering. Then we will come to know about that what is the excitement of this physics about all these simple topics. That is your chapter number 1. Then units and measurement, where we will come to know about the various units and how we measure the quantities and what are the different methods to remove the errors in the measurement. Then motion in straight line, rectilinear motion, whose almost part you have already studied in class 9th. Then chapter number 4, motion in planes, like suppose a body is moving on the plane, suppose we throw a stone in the air, then the stone will be moving in the plane. The motion of the stone will be a planar motion. So that type of motion. Then from up to this third and fourth, they are together called as kinematics. And kinematics means the study of motion without studying its reason. Study of motion without going without discussing about the reason of the motion. Then this is your fifth is your dynamics. Dynamics means in which we study about the motion as well as its reason also. And the reason of motion is force. So we will study basically about the force in this chapter. Then chapter number 6 is work, energy and power, the effects of that force. Then 7th is rotational mechanics. Here we will particularly discuss about the rotational motion of a body. The quantities, up to this we will discuss about only the motion that we call that as linear motion or a translatory motion, more particularly as a translatory motion means when an object is changing its position with respect to time. Rotational is the position of the body. Actually the center of mass of the body is not changing with respect to time, it is only rotating about a particular point. So for that type of motion, what will be the different quantities associated with it, that we will discuss in this chapter. Then chapter number 8 is gravitation. Again some part you have discussed in class 9th and rest of the part you will come to know here. Then this is your this all is your mechanics. Now from chapter number 9 we will start the second part, mechanical properties of solids. Basically we will study about the elasticity in this chapter. Then mechanical properties of fluids. When a fluid is moving, fluids means liquids and gases together, their together group is called as a fluid. So what are the different properties of fluid? Surface tension, viscosity, all these things we will study in this chapter. Then 11th is thermal properties of matter, where we will discuss about basically about the temperature and various methods to measure the temperature and other topics. Then 12th is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, thermo means heat and dynamic means the motion of heat, how the heat travels, how the heat moves. So thermodynamics, that part we will study. Then chapter number 13 is kinetic theory of gases. Gases, the molecules are always in random motion, the molecules are always moving in the space, so they have some kinetic energy. About that kinetic energy we will study in this chapter. This is your part related to thermodynamics. Then your 14th chapter will be oscillations, in which we will come to know about the basic oscillatory motion, the to and fro motion. Now the oscillatory motion is observed by a particle. who performs the oscillatory motion? It's a particle. And when a large number of particles undergo the oscillatory motion, they can constitute a wave. That wave formation we will discuss in chapter number 15. Both these chapters are very important for your class 12th also. So important chapters which whose knowledge you need in class 12th also are this, you're up to chapter number 8, this part, and this one. This part, this particular section is not of that much importance for class 12th. Okay. Now before starting the proper syllabus, this is syllabus of class 11, we need to know about some basic tools of mathematics. We will start with some mathematical tools, and these tools are very much required to go to move on through the syllabus, to go through the syllabus of this class 11th physics. As we all know that there is a large involvement of mathematics in the study of physics. So before starting the syllabus, we need to know about some mathematical tools, and the tools which we will discuss here will be your algebra, then your trigonometry, then your next one is coordinate geometry, then next is logarithm, then next is differentiation, and integration. So we will have a small discussion on all these topics one by one, and after finishing this we can start the syllabus. Once we finish this, we can go for the syllabus. Now in algebra, we are not going to discuss about the whole algebra, only those parts which we need while going through our syllabus of class 11. In algebra part, I will start with algebra. Now one thing you remember, that these two are of immense importance. These two are very much important, as well as this one, your trigonometry. All these three sections are very important for your 11th physics. Okay, I will start with algebra first. And this is one of the easiest parts. First, algebra. Now, first of all, about the solving a quadratic equation. And we all know that the formula is, if suppose you have a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then x will be minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This is the quadratic formula with the help of which you can solve a quadratic equation. Okay. I think it's not required to take us example, but still then let us take an example. Suppose we have a equation 10x square minus 27x plus 5 equals to 0. Then therefore here x will be minus b, minus of minus 27 plus minus under root b square. Your 27 square will be 14, 18, 14, 4, 5. It is 729 minus 4 into A into C. It will be 200. 4 5s are 20 into 10, 200 upon, it will be 2 into 10. So this is 27 plus minus under root 529 upon 20. Now 529, we will find out the square root. So 2 2s are 4, 1, 29 plus 2, this is 4, and it will be 3, 3 3s are 9, and 3 4s are 12. So it is 23, 27 plus minus 23 upon 20. So it will be, this will be 27 plus 23 will be 50 upon 20, or 27 minus 23, 4 upon 20. So this will be 2.5, or it will be or simply you can say 4 5s are 1 upon 5, or 0.2. So the answer is 2.5 or 0.2. So you all must be knowing about these methods. These are simple methods to solve the quadratic equation. Now the important part which I am going to discuss now is the next part. For one more thing which you need to know is binomial theorem. Binomial theorem. Now we know that how to solve a plus b whole square, or minus also. You can write the formula for a plus or minus b whole square. You can write the formula for a plus or minus b whole cube, but it will be difficult to write a plus minus b raised to the power 10. It will be difficult. So for such type of expansions, such type of expressions, to write the expansions of such type of expressions, we have binomial theorem, with the help of which you can expand any expression up to any power. So that I will tell you. Before starting binomial theorem exactly, I will tell you that what is combination. Combination, and I'm not going into the very much depth of this combination term, means what this mathematical term is, but what we need to know is that how to calculate the combination. NCR. This is, suppose you are given with n terms, and you take at a time r terms. It is simply like, suppose you have you are available with the 10 people, and you want to select 2 people, one as the chairman and other as the vice chairman. If you want to select a group of 2 people from the 10 people, then how many different type of combinations you can take? So that is your combination. So suppose you are given n terms and you are supposed to choose r terms at a time, then we write NCR, number of combinations of n taking r at a time is equal to n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. Now factorial means, suppose you have 5 factorial, it means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. If you have 3 factorial, then it is 3 into 2 into 1. Means you start from that number and go on multiplying the number with its predecessor until you reach to the number 1. Start with the number up to 1, you decrease the number, go on decreasing the number till you get 1 and multiply all of them. So this is the factorial. So this is the formula for n, this is the formula for a general formula for finding the number of combinations. Okay. Now here you can write few formulas, simple formulas, like suppose NC0. If you have n terms and you want to select none of the terms at a time, then the answer will be NC0 will be 1. It will be 1, and this will be equal to NCN. because nc0 is n factorial upon 0 factorial into n minus 0 means n factorial. So they will get cancelled and 0 factorial, and remember that 0 factorial is equal to 1 factorial equals to 1. They both are equal. So 1 upon 0 factorial means 1. Similarly, ncn is equal to n factorial upon n factorial into n minus n factorial. So this will be n factorial will get cancelled and minus n will be 0 factorial. So this is also 1. So nc0 and ncn, they are 1. Similarly, if you will solve nc1 is equal to n is equal to ncn minus 1. nc1 and ncn minus 1 are equal. I will give you an example. Suppose you take 5c0 will be, no need to solve it, you can simply write 1, or 5c5. Now similarly 5c1 is equal to 5 is equal to 5c4. 5c1 and 5cn minus 1. 5 minus 1. They both are equal to 5 itself, n itself. So these are some simple formulas which you can directly use. Now I will write the formula, the binomial expansion. Is equal to nc0 a raised for n b raised for 0, nc1 a raised for n minus 1 b raised for 1, nc2 a raised for n minus 2 b raised for 2 plus ncn minus 1 a raised for 1 b raised for n minus 1 plus ncn a raised for 0 b raised for n. This is the formula. Now here you can see we are starting with nc0, nc1, nc2, nc3. Second last will be ncn minus 1 and last will be ncn. The exponent of the first value of the first expression's first value will decrease from n to 0. n minus 1, n minus 2, then second last will be 1 and last will be 0. The exponent for the second term will increase from 0 to n. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, second last will be n minus 1 and last will be n. Or simply you can see here that whatever is here is the exponent for the second term, and the exponent of first term is n minus this. Means simply you can write the general term is ncr a raised for n minus r b raised for r. This will be the general term of this one. If you want to write the first term, then r will be, you will take r equals to 0. For first term r will be 0, so it will be nc0 a raised for n into b raised for 0. Second term will be r equals to 1. So nc1 a raised for n minus 1 and b raised for 1. So this is the general term for the expansion. Now easy to remember, nc0, nc1, nc2, nc3, you write up to ncn. The powers of a will decrease from n to 0 and the powers of b will increase from 0 to n. Just opposite. Now in case suppose you have a minus sign here, if suppose you have a minus b raised for n, then you can write a plus minus b raised for n. Now your expansion will be similar only those factors where the power of b is an even number, this sign will become plus. This sign will become plus, or simply you can say, you can write like this also, minus 1 raised for n into b. The expansion will be similar only. B raised to the power even will be equal to b, and minus b raised to the power odd will be equal to minus b. So here the power is even, so it will remain positive. Here the power is odd, so this will become negative. Here the power is even, so will remain positive. The next term will be NC3, a raised power n minus 3, b raised power 3. This term will become negative. Then this b raised power n minus 1, it will be positive, so it will remain positive, and this will become negative. So simply what will happen? Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Alternate terms will become negative only. That's all. Now I will show you an example. Suppose we want to expand one minus 3x raised to the power 5. Suppose I want to expand this. So my n value is 5. So I will write 5c0 1 raised to the power 5 into minus 3x raised to the power 0. 5c0 a raised power n b raised power 0 plus 5c1 1 raised to the power 4 minus 3x raised to the power 1. 5c2 1 raised to the power 3 minus 3x raised to the power 2 plus 5c3 1 raised to the power 2 into minus 3x raised to the power 3 plus 5c4 1 into minus 3x raised to the power 4 plus 5c5 1 raised to the power 0 minus 3x raised to the power 5. Now we will write the value. 5c0 is 1, 1 into 1 is power 5, 1, minus 3x raised to the power 0 is 1. So the first term is 1. Plus 5c1 will be 5. 1 raised to the power 4 will be 1 raised to the power 4, and minus 3x raised to the power 1 is minus 3x. Plus 5c2, 5 factorial upon 2 factorial into 5 minus 2, 3 factorial. So 5 into 4 into 3 factorial upon 2 into 1 into 3 factorial. Get cancelled. 2 2s are 4, 5 2s are 10. So this is 5c2 is 10, 1 cube is 1, and minus 3x square will be plus 9x square. Okay, next is plus 5c3, 5 factorial upon 3 factorial into 2 factorial. So again you are getting the same, the previous term. If you will solve, you will get 10, 1 square is 1, and minus 3x cube is minus 27 x cube. 3 cube is 27 and x cube is x cube. So it will be minus 27 x cube plus 5c4 will be your 5. You can solve it yourself. 1 into minus 3x raised to the power 4 minus power 4 will become plus, and 3 raised to the power 4 is 27 into 3 will be 81 x raised to the power 4 plus 5c5 will be 1. 1 into 1 raised to the power 0 is 1, so 1 into 1 is 1, and minus 3x raised to the power 5. So 3 raised to the power 5 is 81 into 3, 3, it is 243, minus 243 x raised to the power 5. So finally the expansion will be 1 minus 5 3s are 15x plus 90x square minus 270x cube plus 5 1s are 5, 5 8s are 40, 405 x raised to the power 4 minus 243 x raised to the power 5. This is the expansion of 1 minus 3x raised to the power 5. Okay, today I will leave this here only. So I will share after go through these videos and this video, and after this I will share a small worksheet with you in the group and try to solve that small worksheet. Thank you.